It's March 10th. We've had some warm days here and the snow pretty well melted off in all the south-facing areas, and I'm in one of my Minnesota spots. I haven't picked up a shed in Minnesota for 2 years now, so we'll see if I can change that this year. I don't get over here as much anymore now that I moved to Wisconsin. And the last couple years have been hard to shed hunt with mild winters. The deer were not concentrated at all, and a lot less deer here than there used to be. So we'll see. I'm planning to head up this hill here. Well, I had just found a rub, like right there, and I looked and the shavings were on top of the leaves, so I thought it was maybe from this winter, and there's maybe a buck in here this winter, and I better walk this area better. And I walked, I don't know, 10 feet. It was almost right on top of this when I saw it. Just a little guy, but that's crazy. Just from that rub, I thought I better look around in here. There's a shed right by it. A little yearling, I'm sure, but hey, finding a shed these days, this is my first northern Minnesota shed in 2 years. It's gotten so hard to find them. Funny little 3-point there. Looks like it's been out here a little while for the winter. Cool. Well, that's a good sign. I'm going to keep looking around in this area. It's mid-March. I'm down in the Driftless area of Wisconsin for the second time. I'm only a few steps out of my truck and we've already got a dead doe there, I think. Geez, I've only been out of my car 5 minutes here. I've got a rub, I've got deer trails everywhere, a big scrape here. More rubs than I can count today. That's a really nice one. I'm finding just super deer sign in this area. All kinds of rubs, a few scrapes, kind of running on the top of this little ridge here. I just found this one. He just polished this tree so smooth here. I can't believe it. It's like it's been sanded smooth. I'm guessing anyone who's shed hunted enough has found like lots of surveyor stuff out in the woods. I haven't quite seen anything like that. I've found a lot of bearing trees. Somebody lost part of their truck out here. I think I see a little skull there. I'm going to go check it out. Never know what those are. That's actually in pretty nice shape. That's either a beaver, a muskrat, or a porcupine. I'll have to look at my ID book when I get home. That's actually quite a nice little skull. I'm going to take that. Cool. It's April 9th. I was just talking about how hard it is to find a shed out here. I had a pretty good month in January with 3, and then nothing February. Just one in March, and now it's over a week in April, and I don't have any yet, but I just found one. I think it's old and chewed. I saw just a little white from a ways back, and I thought it was just a stick, but it looks like an old chewed shed here. I shot my buck way off over in the pines way over there, and I'm walking this area. There's like these, I think they're glacial kettles, I call them potholes, and there's a real big one there, and there's a real big one over there, and then there's this strip of like higher ground in between them, and I thought it just looked like a super interesting spot to check out, and that the deer might be in here. And I've been finding tons of rubs and got a shed here. Yeah, that one has seen some better days here. But just finding anything out here. It's really hard, so I'm super happy to find anything. Even a smaller buck that's kind of chewed like that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to keep walking here. I'm having an interesting day in the woods. I found a little shed. I've been finding all kinds of rubs and trails and interesting landscape out here, and I just found a really old tree stand. On that old rotted tree that fell down. I don't know if that could be salvaged and reused. It looks really pretty heavy, so I probably want to stick to lightweight things, hunting saddles maybe. That's really neat though. I see a little skull here. It doesn't really look like a deer, so I'll check what it is. I'm not sure if that's a raccoon or something else. Yeah, I need to get out my book and learn these better. The ticks are just unreal today. I'm spending more time picking ticks off my pants than I am looking for sheds, but what can you do? We're back in my boyfriend's county, and I've been walking here a lot this year, and it has been so hard to find sheds out here. I found just that one hanging in the tree, and that was it. And I've walked a ton out here in this area. I've got a trail camera out here. It's the only area where I know there was a few bucks this winter moving through, but I can't find any sheds. I can't figure out where they're bedding, and they're all younger bucks probably, but there should be a few small sheds somewhere out here, but I'll be damned if I can find them. I'm walking across a little strip of black spruce bog, and I just got to thinking when I was a little kid in the Twin Cities. I remember my parents taking me to the Bell Museum, Natural History Museum there, and they had this thing called the bog walk. I don't know, it was just squishy foam that was supposed to imitate walking in a bog, and I guess back when I was a little kid, I never would have dreamed that I'd be out here as an adult walking around in actual bogs, but here I am having a great time. There's a wolf over there. Holy shit. I don't see him now. I don't know if I can get him on camera. There he goes. Well, in this clear cut looking for sheds, be pretty unlikely to find one out here. I think they don't spend a lot of time feeding out here compared to what they spend in cover, but I just started looking at rocks. I found these kind of flat plates here that were kind of cool. Then I looked down here and I found a fossil. I don't know if I've ever found anything quite like this before. I don't really know my rocks or my fossils, so I'm not sure what that is. It's really cool though. I'm going to take it. Well, I was done for the day and on my way back to my truck, which is right there, almost there. Just happened to take this route. It looks like the easiest route through all this thick stuff here, and I just saw this little white thing over here, and I've been looking at sticks all day that weren't sheds, and figured it was just a stick, but I always check them, so looked in my binoculars and it looked kind of like a shed, and then I walked up to it and it still looked kind of like a shed, and it is a shed. Just right above my vehicle here. Almost back. Probably nothing big and obviously quite old. Oh, that's bigger than I thought it would be. It's too bad it got chewed. I sure wasn't expecting that. I think this is number 7 for the year here. And I don't know, I'm in that area again, kind of where I hunt and where I found the match set in January, and Just trying to learn it better, going all over the place. Was not expecting to find this when I was almost back to my truck, just taking the easiest way back. That's pretty cool, man. I just wish that hadn't gotten chewed. I can clean up the old ones pretty good, but I'm not going to fix those chew marks. Found that one old antler, and I thought I'd walk down this deer trail and see if maybe the match happened to be nearby. I kind of walked over here. I was like, I don't really want to walk in this stuff, so I turned around, come back. The match is right there on the other side of that log. The first one was that side. So how cool is that? Just wasn't totally unexpected here. I mean, right by my truck, almost back to my truck. Found an old match set out here. That's pretty damn cool. This one looks like it didn't get chewed, hopefully. Well, this guy's got no brows. Otherwise, that's a nice little buck. That'd be a big 2-year-old for out here. That's probably a 3-year-old. That is super cool. I can get those cleaned up pretty good here. Well, there's no deer sign up in here, but what a pretty spot. I made a video last winter asking about these plants and what they are, and I did a lot of Googling trying to figure it out, and the best I could tell is it's maybe like a prairie willow, and these funny looking things are insect galls. And looking at it here, it definitely looks like a willow, so I think that's probably what that is. I just see them all over out here, and I always wondered what they were. I don't think the deer really eat them or anything, but I've been seeing quite a few wolf tracks out here today. These sand roads are really good for seeing tracks. They're not super clear, but I think this was probably a woodpecker. These little feathers look like they're tail feathers. I think I found maybe some owl pellets or something similar like that. I see tiny little bones in it. Bones and fur, it looks like. Oh, yeah, there's a little teeny tiny jawbone right there. Oh my gosh. I think I've got some elk tracks here. I'm in northern Wisconsin elk country, and I found lots of droppings and other sign down in there. Just walking back, and they're not very clear, but there's not really anything else out here that's going to leave a track like that.